morning, good morning. Another beautiful blue day here in Asakusa. Ohayou gozaimasu. Good morning, good morning. Is the sun pretty much just straight down the street? Look at that, the shadows from the tree and the cone. It looks like the sun might be right exactly down our street right now. We're not facing east-west. The street doesn't go exactly east-west, it tilts a little bit. We're looking towards, what do they say, east, northeast? I don't know, whatever. The Don Quixote store is east of us, but not directly east. We're on the first floor, so what's the job today? Something you haven't seen in, you haven't seen in a few weeks, you haven't seen in a few months. We're going to be carving this morning. And people who saw the last stream, where we discovered that a bit of work had been forgotten at a previous step, can understand what's going on. We're actually going to be, I'll try and remember if I can remember how to carve. The knife is blunt, we'll have to sharpen it first. I will have to sharpen it first. We're going to do a bit of carving, and then we're going to do a bit of printing. So, good morning, good morning, good morning. A bit of carving. Got a bunch of stuff to clean up on the desk first. Where's the camera? Are we zoomed out? It's been a kind of busy weekend, so today also it's a holiday in Japan. This is a bit funny for us. I know this is a long weekend. Today it's what we call in Japan a sandenkyu, 3 days off in a row. So Monday's a holiday. For Japanese people, it's a big deal. And Asakusa was really, really busy last night with Japanese people. Drinking, because they know it's a holiday the day after. So it's like a Saturday night, but Sunday night became like that. John's got me corrected. Donkey's west. Yeah, okay. Good start to the day. Don't listen to me, listen to John. I'm sorry, John. Okay, yeah. Anyway, today's a holiday. So for the Japanese people, that means that last night was busy here. And today will be busy. People strolling, relaxing, drinking. There's not actually a lot of things to do in Asakusa these days. It's mostly just about restaurants and chilling out and drinking. And for the tourists, a lot of them don't even know it's a holiday. So for us, with a business that caters to overseas people, the fact that it's a holiday today doesn't really make much difference. Because if you actually stop a tourist on the street and ask them, they really don't know that it's a holiday, because it doesn't make much difference to you when you're traveling around Japan. You've got to check the train schedule maybe and stuff like that. And some places are closed. If you want to go to a bank or whatever, it's going to be closed. But it won't really affect our business here, other than that the district here will be buzzing. I don't remember the holiday. Culture Day. There you are. It's our day today. Okay, so as I said, we're going to carve. Before we can do that, let's clean up some of the stuff on the desk. I've got something I want to share with you later. We won't start with this. Let's work first. Somebody wrote a review of one of our YouTube videos. Now, people leave comments on the videos all over the place. That's really, really common. Somebody actually wrote a review of one of our videos, and I want to share some of it with you. Of course, it's a flattering review, which is why I want to share it, but there's something about it that will lead to an existential discussion. Let's save that for a minute. If I forget about it, remind me later. This is the block we're going to be carving. Oh yeah, we've got prints for checking today. This is a quiet print. It's nowhere near as dramatic as the Fuji Tagobe I showed you a few days ago. This is one of our more quiet prints. It's a Zeshin print, and it's not old ukiyo-e. It's an old, I don't know, there's no name for the genre. It's like a haiga, a picture that would accompany poetry or something like that. It's not a top seller in our shop. Sells quietly and steadily, and this is nice. And there's something worth mentioning to you. This is done by young Yuki-san, the young girl from China who's been trying to become part of our team for a while, but visa issues got in the way. She was here, I don't even know, 3 years ago the first time she came, 2 years ago. Anyway, she's here now. She's not a full-time employee of ours, and she's not even allowed to work here more than 1 or 2 days a week, because to get her visa, she's involved in another job she got for her visa. You can get visas to work in a shop in the Ginza, but you can't get visas to work in a workshop in Asakusa. Anyway, so she's going to work 1 or 2 days for us part-time, and she is coming along very nicely. And after seeing this, I chatted with her the other day, and she's going to be part of the team working on DF10. She's come along very well. So we're adding a new printer, a new very, very part-time printer to our roster. It all depends on the visas. There's two barriers in the way. The immigration people don't give visas for people working in traditional crafts. It's just not on their list of jobs. And the fact that she's from China is a negative because, of course, there's so much visa fraud that they are giving her paperwork all kinds of extra scrutiny. But yeah, so any new printer time, if she can do an hour a week, it helps us. And she's really determined to get good at this. What is this? Well, this is another, this is not a show and tell. This is a package of prints from one of our printers who lives away. This is from Tsushima-san. She lives in Ome. You know, that place, Ome. And she just finished a batch of prints, and I wasn't, they weren't ready when I was there the other day, so she has sent them in. So there's actually a paper out. The paper is out, 2 packages today. Package of paper out for Yuki-san and for Ishikawa-san. We might meet her later. She might come and say she's doing some test printing on DF11, and she's going to show it to me later. What have we got here? This is, oh, I remember. You've seen these a million years ago. Ask me how much I hate plastic. It's this one from Jed. It's one of the old Ukiyo-e Heroes prints. She's got them split into 2 groups for some reason. I don't know why. Where's the division here? Right here. Okay, she's got 3 copies spoiled. These are the spoiled copies. She's done her batch. Here, we know this one. Very, 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 very popular in the shop. We've been out of them for a while. Simple and effective. This is the old style Jed Henry. Simple, clean, imaginative, and effective. So Tsushima-san has printed these out in the Ome workshop. They will come back to me. I will check them later today. I will sign them. We don't send prints to Jed for signing anymore because of the tariff barrier, but I will sign them. Yeah, these go for the new numbering. These will get T numbers, tariff numbers. Yeah, I know, the plastic did its job. I know. I was just being blah, 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 blah. Okay, let's save this for a bit, something to show you. Some of you might know already what this is. A gentleman came in over the weekend, a man I hadn't known. He'd written to us, but I had sort of not managed to reply. He came in over the weekend. Let's save this for a bit later. Again, if I forget, please remind me. Okay, today's carving job is this. For the DF10 print, which we received the other day, it turned out that I had forgotten to assign to the carver Kawasaki-san, I had forgotten to tell her to carve the dakkan, the little mark that shows Atelier Sento. So the first printer, Chiharu-san, She made her 200 copies, and she could have maybe realized that it was missing. She could have phoned me and said, Dave, where is it? But she didn't notice. She was busy. She took the blocks as we sent them to her. So that's what he wants. That's what he's going to get. And she just did 200 copies of the print. So I now today, these are going to be shipped tomorrow. The post office is closed today. These are going to be shipped tomorrow. So I have to carve the design for the .com, then get some printing tools out here, and I have to start printing it before about 3 o'clock, because these have to be shipped to Ome today. Some saying, when I sign those Pokemon, of course, I don't sign Jed's name. I sign my name, D. Bull, of course, of course. We stamp Jed's name on them. We've talked about this before. We stamp Jed's name on. We can't send them to Jed anymore because of the incredible difficulty with shipping to America and back and forth. Tariff both ways. It's just not something we can do. Okay, let's get carving. Oh, of course, first I have to sharpen. This is really, really dull. I'm a knife abuser. What's that comment? Watching me sharpen knives never gets dull. Are we carving on the block so that future print runs will have it? Yes, of course, of course. We've talked about this before. The first couple of prints in this series didn't have this at all because I hadn't thought about it. And we then came up with the idea of stamping it on the prints. Taran-san carved an actual piece of wood, boxwood, and we started stamping it on the prints. We found that it was really, really difficult to stamp on correctly, neatly, and we were spoiling too many prints. So we switched to a system where each month we carve it onto the block set. And we are going to go back next time we print number 1 and number 2, and I guess it was number 3, we're going to carve it onto those blocks as well. So once the series is fully moving forward into the future, the Dakkan, it will be printed properly on every print in the same way. But there are prints out there now, the earliest supporters of this series. There are people who don't have the design. There are some prints that don't have it. So whatever, as long as we've documented what we're doing, I think we're okay. Hey, hey, hey. That wasn't my comment, that was somebody else's comment. I was reading it. Watching me sharpen never gets dull. Does that deserve a chocolate egg? Stream can decide. Chat can decide. I guess it deserves an egg, doesn't it? There's the alternate theory that for people making puns, we should take away their previous eggs, but I don't. I think it's okay. Well, someone says it's such a good series, we can run it again for next year. This is, of course, what we will be doing. At the moment, the DF series is closed for subscriptions. We just can't take any more. There's so much demand for it. But given that we don't have a new series running next year, we will just be running on back numbers. The question for us comes, will we be able to print enough of these things to handle back number demand? And I'm of two minds. If it turns out that we got 50, 60, 70 requests for it, we could handle that. If it turned out that as a back number next year, if we got 300 requests for it, we couldn't. That would just put us in the same situation as this year. So what we will be doing is over the next couple of months, as we look at our printing team and our printing time, we will decide what number that we will be able to accept, maybe 50 new subscribers for this back number next year. And we will make the announcement in the year-end video in December, and we'll open the web page for a few days or a few hours or a few minutes, whatever it turns out. And we will cap it at some number, 50, 60. I don't think we can get to 100. I don't know. We want the prints to be available, but we just don't have printing time. But we've already announced that for next year, our subscriptions will be back numbers only. There will be no new series next year. So, and somebody else has added too, the Hokusai series. We are already involved now in printing that one, and we are going to hopefully see if we can get some traction on that in the Japanese market. But it won't take us all year to print, 100 copies of each one of those. I've got to try and balance all these conflicting demands. I think we have a nice blade there. It wasn't badly broken. It didn't need that much sharpening. Let's just get the burr off it. My nugget of stone is upstairs. Does the blade have to be sharpened at different angles? I'm not quite sure the question. Traditional carvers, like myself and Taran-san, the traditional carver normally would have a collection of blades. He'd have 2, 3, 4 of them sitting in his box with them sharpened at different angles. Because when you're carving thick, fat lines that don't turn much corners, or when you're turning lines that have many sharp corners in them, you need your knife at a different angle. Mine at the moment is just a generic, 60 degrees, something like that. It's just a generic angle. Everyday common. If you were doing more delicate work that needed more curving, calligraphy, the angle would have to be more acute. This is just an average angle, nothing special. If it's too sharp and too acute, you're in real danger of breaking the tip. There you go. You see this hollow ground on the back? The back of the blade has a hollow grind. And you see the shininess right along the tip. There's the bevel at the tip with that sparkly shiny. This is good. We got a good one here. We're near the end of the blade. The blade has been getting shorter, shorter, shorter. There's the end of it right there. So this is actually, there's not going to be many more sharpenings available. If I broke this, we'd have 1 or 2, maybe 3 more sharpenings, and that's the end of it. And it's very, very, very common that the blade is at its hardest and most sharp as it gets near the handle part. And it's because when the guys were making the blade, if you imagine the raw blade here, they're just holding a piece of steel. I don't know. Imagine that this was your piece of steel, and they hammered. It goes on the anvil, you put it in the fire, they hammer, 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 put it in the fire, hammer, 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 hammer. You're hammering layers of steel together. And the guy hammering, they hammer it, the ding, 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 put it in the fire, bang, bang. But there's an area near where you're holding it where the blade didn't get too hot, it's not getting hammered so much. So at some point, it's unusable. It's not properly bound together. It didn't get heated enough. So your normal area blades here. But this area, right between the actual real blade and the handle part, that's the area that sometimes turns out to be the best part. Maybe it's a bit too brittle, which means it gets really, really sharp. The more carbon, whatever there is in there, I don't know, and how they hit it. The harder the blade gets, the sharper it will sharpen. but the more likely it is to crumble the tip. It'll break easier. A softer blade won't break, but it won't sharpen so sharp. Here we go. Let's find our spot and zoom in. Yeah, don't confuse the handle and the blade. The handle has been used and reused and reused. The blade gets replaced every few months. If I was carving all the time, it would get replaced frequently. But as it is, I don't do much carving. So that's probably been in there for a year or something. I don't know. You remember? We must have changed it on stream. A year? I don't know. That should do us, I think. Are we in focus? Looks good. When will we see adventures in knife blacksmithing? From me, never. That's not my skill set. I know just enough about sharpening and blade making just to do my job. I'm not a blade maker. I have no deep knowledge of any of that. I'm not the guy to tell you about it. You'll need to find another YouTuber for that one. There must be guys doing this, right? It's a very popular, I don't know about in Japan, but it's certainly popular anywhere else. This is sharp. I got to be careful not to break this. Ooh, looking good. It's a perfect little blade. A perfect little blade. We're probably going to break it straight away. I have absolutely no feel for this now. When's the last time I carved? I don't remember. It's like picking up a bicycle years later. You sort of remember how to do it, but you're clumsy and wavering, wobbling down the street. And things are what they are now. There's no going back. No going back. That's it. Let's clear it out. How did the old carvers do this without magnification when their vision started failing? Well, they didn't, of course. Each person worked at his own physical level. The older guy would be shuffled off to one side of the room, and you just do your persuading. You know, work that wouldn't need high magnification. There were some glasses available. There's a famous picture in the Hokusai manga, which would be from 1816, 1820, somewhere around there, with a carver with little round glasses whacking away at something. So there were some kind of visual aids available in the Edo era. No idea. I don't know. None of that stuff is documented. Obviously, people would have used whatever help was available. But remember, it's not like now when we've only got half a dozen people in the country who know how to do this. There were hundreds of carvers. There were thousands of printers. Just whatever, churn. Kids joined, kids left, people retired, people got old. If some particular guy couldn't do that anymore, he either got out of the way or he did simpler work, you know. It only seems sort of critical now because there's so few carvers around. Nothing. It's sort of the same as today, you know. Anybody who does any delicate work, once their eyes start going, what do? You know. Okay, we have the persuader. We're going to make a bit of noise. I believe it's been a while since we've done this, but we have, I forget now, there's a limiter and a noise gate on the system. So I think it's okay, but if you're wearing headphones, some of this might be disruptive. So anybody who's wearing headphones doing computer programming on a different monitor, not watching, please stand by. This may get a little bit disruptive. You have been warned. It's mostly just light tapping. I'll keep it light here. The mark also represents the traditional, when you've got a Japanese map or something, you're trying to show where things are located. Every community always had a public bath, and this is the mark that would have been on an old map showing where the public bath is located, the sento. And Atelier Sento uses this as their logo. Is there a visitor? Somebody's talking about this? Somebody outside? Should I check? Oosh, 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 oosh. You gonna come in and say hello?
I could.
If you're okay, I don't know. Come on in.
Yeah, I'm okay.
You should probably not, if you're streaming, you should probably pause it if you're gonna come in, because the audio might feedback.
I will close it.
Well, come in and say hello. What's the voice? I'm hearing Philippine accent, maybe? No,
I'm
we're
Singaporean.
Singapore. Okay, the right part of the world. So, hello.
Yeah, your streams are. Have you been live streaming recently?
We do 3 days a week since 2017, since you were a little kid. Can you come and say hello? The camera's here. If you just pop yourself in
I will.
in there. Do we know you? Like, have you been commenting and stuff on the stream, or do you?
No, I haven't.
Ah, so you're a stranger to us. Okay.
But I visited in. I walked past in earlier this year. I was visiting, and I picked up one of your free frames, and I got introduced to your world of.
Oh, okay, thank you.
My wife bought one of your pieces.
Okay, thank
I
you,
came
thank
to
you.
say hi.
So you're not a printmaker then?
I just started a wood block printing class.
You started?
Just a beginner.
Okay, so you don't have any work to show us yet. It's okay. No
I
stress.
have a picture.
Okay, so.
But no, I don't.
Okay.
Wow, yeah. No, I didn't know that you were doing live streams
Mm-hmm,
daily. I've been catching up on your YouTube videos.
Okay, good.
And I'm just very pleased to
Thank
meet
you. Thanks for
today.
taking trouble to come over. Sure, I've got to keep working here. It's a bit unusual today because recently there's been so much business stuff going on and so much noise and visitors and planning that I don't actually do much actual printmaking work. So today's a little bit of an unusual stream in that I'm actually doing work. So what's this? So
please go ahead. What time is the shop open?
the staff gets here at 9:30. They start cleaning up and the doors open just before 10 o'clock.
I'll bring my mom over later.
You're traveling with the family then?
Just my mom.
I see, okay.
She wanted to visit too. She wanted to visit. so-
Okay, good. And you said from Singapore, did you?
Yes, I did.
Okay, do you guys come to Japan often?
Too often.
No, there's a reason I'm asking you in that for our own business planning, we can't figure out, is the tourism to Japan going to keep growing, or is it stable, or is it going to shrink back to the pre-pandemic level? And so far, it seems like it's just not going to stop growing, because we hear like this, people came once, they come again, and they come again.
Yep. As long as the flights and the yen, and I think you can grow your business. And I'm behind you. We'll support you. And
How many times have you been to Japan then?
Lost count.
He can't count. Okay, point made. All right. Okay. Jeff, please drop back this morning and have a look. And
I'll come and
see
say
how
hi
it
later
is. Okay.
if you're around.
Thank you very much for dropping in. Thank you. There was a reason for me to ask him that question because I know for the first time recently, I got an email the other day from one of the people who watches some of these streams. And this person who is in Australia, and he'd mentioned that by he was thinking that perhaps the Australian part of this might have peaked. Now we see Australian people every day and it seems to be growing, and Hokkaido is now owned by Australians. And the Australian thing is a huge part of Japanese tourism. And this gentleman was just saying, Dave, maybe just keep a little eye out because maybe now we've peaked and it might be going down. And he was asking about this. The reason he mentioned to write about this was because of the thing I'm going to talk to you a little bit later that we're talking about, this idea, and whether I should be expanding in the face of perhaps decreased tourism. I don't know. So now for me, for the next few days, what I'll be doing as visitors come here, I will be trying to get some more feedback on this. You've been to Japan before, you're going to keep coming. And what this gentleman said, we hear this all the time, every day. They've been to Japan more than once, and they're going to be back again because people really, really like coming to this place. So this is all anecdotal evidence. I don't have statistics. The stuff we read in the newspaper, the actual inbound tourism statistics, are still showing stunning, staggering growth month on month, year on year. And we're going to hear these anecdotes. Been 3 times, planning my 4th. I will be back again, whatever, you know. So the idea that we may be trying to expand our business across the street, is this a sensible business decision based on potential customers? I don't think there's any doubt about it. I think it's okay. Other factors will be a bigger play. Financial factors, time factors, staff factors, things like this. But I don't think lack of potential customers is an issue at all. Okay, I'll be finished the banging in about 1 or 2 minutes. There will be no more noise. So if you haven't seen this before, just hang on a sec. It's going to get quiet. Yeah, people are commenting, it's the labor shortage. It's all about the labor, the labor, the labor. I know. There's hotels around here still that are not running anywhere near full occupancy. You can see sometimes the hotels at night. Floor 5, 6, 7 are lit up. Floor 8 and 9 are dark. Floor 10, 11, and 12 are lit up. The hotels are, they can't open all the floors all the time because they just don't have enough staff. And this is exactly my situation here. We're not running a hotel here, but we are running a print shop, and many of our most popular prints are not. I mean, it's like the hotel. Floor 8, 9, and 10 are dark, and in this shop, that print, that print, that print, that print are missing. If you've been to our website, you've seen this. We have the message reprinting. It's on like half of our prints now are reprinting because we don't have the labor. It's my own fault. We should have trained years ago. We should have hired more people, trained them, and we'd now be up and running. But I didn't have the, well, whatever, I guess, whatever. I'm not just a good enough manager, I don't know. How's our schedule here? 8:42. We're about halfway through. Let me get a bit farther on this because we still have a lot of printing to do here. I'm still missing my clearing knife here, my clearing chisel. It's under the bench somewhere, I hope. I can't find my best clearing chisel. Maybe under the bench, or it is possible that it walked away. I don't know. I don't want to think that, but whatever. I'm grasping at the straw that it's under my bench. I don't think anybody would walk away with one of my chisels. I don't think. zoom in a bit because I need to look carefully at the next part. Oops, 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 oops. Zoom in, zoom out, zoom in, zoom out. There's only one way to find out if it is under the bench. I know, sir. I know, I know, I know. I know, I know, I know. I know, I know, I know. I think we are done. That should be ready for printing. Well, we'll find out in a few minutes. And one more thing to do, and where the chisel entered around here is still a bit sharp. And if we rub the paper on here, rubbing the barren, this place here, these lines, this will cause a mark in the back of the paper. So we have to take this part, bevel it off. Looks good. There we are, carving done. Okay, I have here on the bench, ready standing by, I have some printing equipment. I tell you, before we do that, before we start printing, let's, as we said, let's take a break. Before we start printing, this is either life-changing or really important or meaningless, and I'm not sure which one is which. YouTube. We have a video on there. What did I make? 3 years ago, 4 years ago? We were into the pandemic, so it would be 2021, maybe something like that, about 4 years ago. I did a video a little different from our normal videos. I did a video about the meaning of life. I don't have the answer to all the stuff about what life is, whatever, but I do have thoughts about this. And we'd had conversations in the shop with different people about that topic. Don't ask how. But I thought it would be cool to make a video about it. So whatever, 4 years ago or so, I did a video. You got the answer, 42. I did a video about the meaning of life. Whatever, we're not here to talk about that. Some of you have seen it, some of you haven't. At this point, it's irrelevant. There's people commented on it. Some people jumped in and said, Dave, you didn't mention the word religion. Whatever, some people liked the video, some people didn't like it. Some people had their own ideas to add. It's been good fun. There have been mostly interesting, not all positive comments, but people giving different points of view. It's called discussion. The comments for that video have been really, 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 really interesting. I don't have a link for you, but if you go to our YouTube channel, you'll find it. Video about the meaning of life. A review came on. This would be maybe a couple of weeks ago now. I'm not really sure. I don't know. 10 days ago, something like this. A review came on, and the reviewer is better at writing reviews than I am at making the video. If I had tried myself, Dave, just for fun, as an exercise in making yourself feel good, write your own review of this that was the most, not hagiography, not stupidly writing, this is wonderful, but perceptive review that showed this person understood everything. And he understood more than maybe you even understood yourself. And then he said, now that was okay, but look, I want to probe a little bit. What about this? What about this? What about this? That kind of review. I finally got a review like this. I won't read the whole thing, but let me just read a couple of phrases to give you the mood and the feeling of what it is. Love this. It reads like a late-night kitchen table monologue, calm, unhurried, and quietly confident rather than preachy. What stuck with me most is how he grounds meaning in ordinary roles, parent, neighbor, citizen, craftsperson, so the philosophy never floats away from lived life. The craft thread, woodblock printing as a way of being attentive, useful, and embedded in a lineage, gives the whole thing a tactile integrity. You can almost smell the paper and pigment while he talks about community. It's good writing. You know why I'm talking to you about this. It goes on, another sentence, another sentence. I'm not going to read the whole thing. And then he switches modes and says, it sparked a few questions I'd love to ask him over that missing living room conversation, which is a reference back to earlier in the video. How he balances solitary, absorbing craft time with his claim that meaning emerges through connections. Whether the consensus versus vigorous debate contrast between Japan and Canada is more porous online. These are good questions. Overall, this felt like shop talk from someone with steady hands and a generous, workable framework for being human. You got the point. It's ChatGPT. ChatGPT, word salad, being more perceptive about what I did than I am myself. I don't really know what to think about this. I really, really don't know what to think about this. we know how ChatGPT works. We don't know how it works, but I mean, we know the concept. It's grokking all of human knowledge, the way sentences are put together, the way words follow each other. It's statistical analysis of that word following this word following this word. I get it. But the words on the paper here show that that entity, it didn't understand. It's a software program, but it showed that this entity took that thing in, understood what parts were in relation to something else, went back 1 hour and picked up a point from an hour ago. I'm not sure what to think about it. I don't have any wonderful perceptive thing to give you right now, but this really, really has made me think about a lot of things. You know, what's the core difference then between this and between me? If you said, Dave, go and watch that video, sit down, write a review of it, I would follow my instructions, I'd watch the video, think about how it related to my history as a human being, whatever, and then I could write comments about it. But is what I'm doing really statistical analysis of the words and thoughts that are in my head from previous experience? Is that all my conversation is right now? That what's the next sentence going to be that I say to you after this pause? Where is this sentence coming from? Is it just random word salad based on my previous experience? Whatever, as I said, I don't have an answer for you here. Just this really shook me. I'm using ChatGPT myself. I sort of get some parts of how it works. It's obviously working at a level that I cannot grok. I cannot figure out what's going on. And my biggest concern is not the chatbots, not the AI. My biggest concern is looking into myself and thinking, is there really something in here now that is not present in a software program? I mean, it goes back to that video that was the meaning of life. That software program is not alive. I am alive by most of our definitions for it. But if we get to the point where software is indistinguishable from the real thing, and this is still early days, someone's probably making comments that, yeah, I could tell it was ChatGPT by the structure of the sentences, whatever. Maybe, that's fine, that's okay. It's early days. It's just for me kind of getting scary now, you know, kind of getting scary. Well, meaning is obtained by the reader, not the writer. I mean, that's, of course, that was at the core of the video that I made. You know, meaning is something in 25 words or less. The whole point of the video I made was that meaning is in the eye of the beholder. You know, we make our own meaning. There's no meaning out there in the universe. It's something we define as a species and we define as individuals. If somebody's making some points, ChatGPT can't learn and change its opinion. But remember, we had the thought experiment. We talked about this a few weeks ago. At the moment, ChatGPT, we're looking at it as a single entity. It's a massive set of programs running on servers and data centers somewhere around the world. But the thought experiment we came up with a few days ago was this. If you start with a ChatGPT kind of entity, and if you package it, again, we talked about it like a humanoid robot or something, it wouldn't matter. If you take a ChatGPT, set it up, package it in a robot, and then don't allow it access to the previous ChatGPT databases, what you've got inside that particular robot now is all you're going to get, ChatGPT. And now it can learn only through the visual sensors, the audio sensors, by walking clumsily around town and interacting with different things. That you set up a bunch of these things all with the same starting point. You let them out into the world to have different experiences. And these now become, it sounds silly to say it, they become artificial humans. Because each one of those chatbots will now develop differently from the other chatbots because it has different experiences. It fell down, it stood up, it met this person, it met that person. That's when they start to develop personality, individual memories, and individual meaning. Okay, what do I need here? Let me get rid of the flask. It's just in the way. We're going to start printing here. Well, someone says, if it's able to learn only on imitation, it would be like a little human kid. Of course, that's me. But what I'm saying is you give it this full ChatGPT knowledge base, dump it in the robot, lock it down, and send it out into the world. So it starts as an adult. It starts as a full, a full thing. Then what's going to happen? Printing downstairs, yeah, it's not a printing bench, of course. I did this downstairs because there's no way I could do that carving upstairs. Without the microscope, without the lens, I couldn't carve upstairs. So what I'm going to do now, I've carved it down here. I'm going to print a few sheets now until it's show and tell time. And then after the stream's over, I'm going to carry all the stuff upstairs and I'm going to sit at my printing bench finishing this job today. We have a bunch of stuff for show and tell, so kick me. Don't, maybe 9, 10 or something we can hit show and tell. Okay, what are we going to do? To recap, we have 200 copies of the DF10 print, beautifully made by Chiharu-san, carved as Kawasaki-san's last job for us. She has retired as a carver. This is her last job. So we're looking at design by Atelier Sento, carving by Kawasaki Noriko, and this batch, the test printing was done by Yuki-san, the girl I talked to you before. She's upstairs today. She did the test printing on this, ran up a real nice image. We sent that over to Chiharu-san, and she came back with 200 copies. We still need more. 200 is not enough. We have 350 subscribers for this series. So the blocks are upstairs. They're going upstairs. And Yuki-chan, and I guess it's Ayumi-san, will be making another batch of these. But as I said, due to my screw up, I forgot to put the dakkan. And we had to decide where to put it. The red on blue didn't make sense, so it's going to go in one corner of the bathwater. I could have maybe put it up here. It seems a bit intrusive. We're going to keep it here. But before I do that, I got to test, get a piece of test paper. There must be sheets of paper here in your desk. No, I'm going to do this. This is first just a rough. There she is. That's the thing you just saw me carve a few minutes ago. It is now a piece of blank wood. Over the past few minutes became an Atelier Sento logo. This is so simple. Somebody's asking, are they embossed? They are indeed embossed. They have an embossing on the side, Hori Kawasaki Suri Kawai Chiharu. And they have a title. What does it say? I can't read it. There's a title, In the Bath, that's all. So this is like that long stream we did. Remember making the original girl in the bath? I did the whole thing in one long stream. And here we are. In one long stream, we're doing the carving and printing. Let's try this. It would go right here, right here. What have I got to lose? Actually, let me see if there's a yare. Maybe there's a print at the back. There are. Let's test it this way. Chiharu-san gave me 2 prints, 3. Out of the batch of 200 plus sheets of paper we gave her, 3 came back as spoiled. Why are they spoiled? Yeah, the background. This will be the first test sheet. The background is not smooth enough. Something's wrong. I can't even find what's wrong with it. Oh yeah, there's an ink mark. There must have been a brush on the block. And what's this? There must be something wrong. I can't find it. She's marked it as yare. Yare is the word that the Japanese printer will use, meaning not acceptable. It didn't make it through. And her success rate is way more than mine. I can't get, what is that? Out of 200 sheets, 3 are no good. There's no way I can get anywhere near that. This lady is a master printer. My God, she's good at this. And there we go. And I think we've got a good location for this. It's fine. It can sit in the corner. It doesn't interfere with the overall view of the image. And in fact, it adds a nice little balance. I think it's much better than putting it on the left side. And if we had moved it up there into the blue, I think if it had gone up here in the blue, it would be more disruptive. I think we've got her set. Let's roll. What time is it? 9:06. These have to be shipped to Ome this afternoon. Packing will then begin, and they'll be shipped tomorrow. The first batch will be shipped tomorrow. Unless you live in Canada. In which case you are out of luck. Because there's no post office shipping to Canada yet. Your strike was so disruptive last month that the Canadian Post Office is still not accepting any inbound material from international post offices. It seems they're so far backed up. Oh, there were 4. Yeah, I'm sorry. I said 3. She had 4. Yeah, what's that? A 2% failure rate. Yes, there's an object. We'll do that as part of show and tell. We'll split for show and tell a bit early, the object, and then the show and tell. US is getting DF9 this month. I believe that's what's happening, right? You're a month behind. Isn't that the thing? There's another thing for me to check here. I carved it here, but remember, around here at the edge, if I rub with my baron, because the baron is wide, it's going to attack the back of the paper here. So I've got to make sure very carefully that there's no marks left on the front of the paper that would show a circle here. We see this on amateur prints all the time. Anywhere there's something like this, we will see a circle around it embossed onto the paper. Looks like I'm good. We're good to go. It's now soft enough. This is going to take a while. 200 pieces of paper carefully one by one. It's going to take me most of the morning. paper's dry. You know, of course, when we normally print, we print with wet paper, moistened paper. And the paper goes carefully into the registration marks and away we go. This is dry. It's not optimal. It's okay. It's making a good impression. It's making a good deal. There's no way we could print something whiter. I couldn't print that blue like this on dry paper, but we can get away with a tiny little area like this. But no, in case anybody's asking, we can't possibly print a print like this on dry paper. No, no, no. Okay, I think we have too many things to show. Let's call it there. You've seen now the work that is going to happen. Let me just put this away now, and let's switch to the show and tell part of our program today. Normally we do it at 9:15. Let's switch a few minutes earlier because I have too much fun stuff to show you. So this is the box, the show and tell, whatever. Let me just get this stuff out of the way. Well out of the way so it doesn't get damaged. Way over there. Block can go under the workbench together with the hidden spoon and knife. Let's do this thing. Okay, first up we have this. I mentioned a young man visited the shop the other day. It turns out he had written to me before with the idea that he could have some of his illustration work maybe made into prints or something, just putting an idea on the table. And the letter came in the middle of the spring. It was too much. I didn't reply to him. He came in yesterday. He put a few things on the table. He said, Dave, can I get a few minutes? And I was in the shop. For me, weekends, Saturday, Sunday, it's open shop day. It's open season on Dave, Saturday and Sunday. I'm always in the shop, available for conversation, whatever. Open season. So he came in and he put a couple of things on the table. He put this on, and some of you may know, what's the magic number? 108, when seen with an image like this. What does this mean? Nobody knows? Come on, you guys know what 108 means. There's a thing in Chinese history and Japanese history called the Sui Koden, the 108. It's 108 heroes, legendary heroes of the old days. The English title, they usually call it the water margin. I don't know the history, why it got called the water margin. In Japanese, we call it the Sui Koden. 108 classical heroes, some sort of real, many mythological, whatever. This young man from Alaska, here's his name. This is public information, there's no problem. He has single-handedly created a series of 108 images of the old heroes. I say created, there's a bit of a twist on this. Some of these that we're going to show you, if I can figure out how to open it, some are by Kuniyoshi, because Kuniyoshi started a series on this, and Isaac, as part of his training and drawing, he started by copying the Kuniyoshi. So some of these are Isaac's copy of the Kuniyoshi prints, designs, and the rest are all his own designs. Now, there's no way we can go through 108 of these things, but here is what we have. We have a story about each one, a background on each one. There's an absolute freaking insane amount of work has gone into this. Isaac has got his brush, dipped it in ink, and he has created 108 of the Sui Koden heroes, and then painted them in with vermilion, whatever. What we're seeing here are, of course, it's an offset printing. He's done them on thin paper. These are not woodblock prints. His dream would be, of course, let's make a series of 108 woodblock prints. It's not kind of going to happen because it's way, 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 way beyond our capabilities. But this is an absolutely insane thing that he's drawn. As I said, I don't know which ones. He's got the information here. Some of these are copied from the Kuniyoshi original. Most of them are from his own imagination. It just goes on and on and on. If you look up Instagram, his name is Isaac Nichols, and I believe it's all one word. If you just run it together, can somebody find a link for us here? Isaac Nichols. He's got an Insta page. The book is available. There's no ISBN number for it. It's totally privately done. He has arranged for that. I think he said he had it printed in Hong Kong. He found a company that could do it there beautifully and neatly. It's absolutely incredible. Somebody says, if I did have capacity, would I want to do it? As a publisher, I got to think about a few things. It's not just that, wow, that's a cool image. It's that, does this make commercial sense? So I've got to do both as a publisher. Isaac could just do this thing as his own project without worrying about is it was going to make money or not. If I were going to publish it, I would have to consider that aspect of it. The money it would take to carve and print these would have to be recouped. Would there be enough, enough market for this? So I don't know. I can't give you an answer right now. They're incredible. They're insane. This guy is just insane. He's young, and his job, his day gig is, he's a horishi. Same as my day gig. I'm a horishi. He's a horishi. He works on human skin. I work on pieces of wood. Isaac is a tattoo guy. And he lives in Alaska somewhere. I think there's no doxing here. He wants me to show his work. He left one more thing with me. And I didn't realize at first. I thought he was just showing it to me. It turned out he wanted to leave it with us. And I'm like, no, 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 no way, no way, no way. He did another one. And he has left the original copy with me. This is one of Isaac's paintings. On super thin paper. I'm not sure what, it's a washi, I'm not sure what it is. It feels a bit stiffer than normal Gumpy. I don't know what he's done. And this guy has some skill. Thin lines, thick lines, lines with taste, energetic lines. This is so much fun. This is an American dude with a brush in his hand. He has both done an awful lot of practice and an awful lot of training, and he's got a feeling for this. He's got a feeling for this. There's nothing I can help him with right now. I can't publish any of these. We're full up to the top of stuff to do. I can't publish any. It's over the top. Someone says over the top. That's the idea. Welcome, Kuniyoshi. It's over the top. That's what the whole thing, the whole book is about. It's the hero who has to fight somebody. He reaches over, pulls a tree out of the ground, and uses the tree to club his enemy into submission. Of course it's over the top. And he left this with me. Dave, thanks very much for the videos and for everything you've done. I'm like, I can't take this. Incredible. I can't even figure out the anatomy. That's a foot. That's a hand. There's a finger. That's a tiger's mouth. You know, this is exactly like the old days. If you try and figure, wait a minute. There's a leg, there's another leg. How does this work? I cannot figure this out. It's exactly just like they were in the old days. You can sort of figure out, there's the guy's left shoulder, there's his left leg, there's a tiger's leg, that's part of his kimono, this must be his right leg, wait a minute, the foot, it's so much fun, so much fun. So I don't know, Isaac sells the book, obviously. Does he sell posters or does he do paintings on commission or whatever? I don't know. We've got some links to him, do we? Yep, he's got a website, analogtattoo.com. What does the back of the sheet look like? It's thin paper, so he's painted on it. There must have been some kind of sizing here. And this is not a copy. He's left the actual painting with me. This is a sheet of paper on which he did all these things. And there's no undo button. Look at this. There's no undo button. This is a piece of paper. Anyway, Isaac-san, if you're watching this, or maybe you'll watch it from a VOD or something, thank you very, very much. This is so cool. I feel a bit frustrated because we've got our technology. We can carve and we can print. But there's no way we could take on a project like this. It's just absolutely beyond us, you know. I think I tried to recommend Isaac to some of the people out there who could maybe work with him on this. Steve Winiecki or Cal Carlisle, William Francis, I don't know. Other people who could work with him making prints. And I sort of I said, Isaac, get your knife, you know, start working yourself. I don't know. Anyway, there we have it. Young man in Alaska. He came in with his lady and their child, a young boy, young son. They're traveling as a family here in Japan. Very personable young man, very polite, very nice, soft-spoken. You know, when you think of a tattoo artist from Alaska, and you know, this could be one rough dude, but he was a very, very personable, nice young man. You know. So Isaac, thank you very, very much. I hope we can just help in a little bit by exposing your work here. I hope there's some things that can come from this. Incredible accomplishment. I can't imagine what you're going to do next. You know, I mean, what's next? What's next? Incredible. Absolutely incredible. You're discussing a picture, whatever. I think he's got this online. I think it's on his Insta page. We're going to put this away now, but if you go to his Insta page, I think he's got it. I think he's got it there. Has somebody found that link, the Instagram? Do I need to go and find it? You got it. Thank you. Okay, we got 10 minutes left. I'll need my knife, and I will need to turn the camera around because we have another big one today. Oh, wrong way. Are we on camera? Am I off? Am I on? It seems okay. Oh, it's glued in, and oh well, can't be helped. Glued in. We have another framed masterpiece. Let's put it here first, then I'll bring it over to the desk. One sec. Hang on a moment. Again, we're going back to the 1980s again, the era when they were making all these different reproductions of paintings as woodblock prints. And we have here, it's Hirakawa is the artist's name. Let me bring it over to the bench. I think we can put it on the bench. Hang on a sec. I'll pull the camera around. One moment. Zoom out. We'll bring it over. Fabulous. The frame is worth a freaking fortune. It's all glued in at the back though, doesn't it? Okay, hopefully with the glass it might. Okay, first up, it's Hirakawa. I can't read the full name. I don't know his name. It's a semi-famous Nihonga painter of the early part of the 20th century. And it's originally it was a Nihonga painting, and it's been made as a woodblock print in an edition of 250. This is copy number 17. It cost me, the auction hammer fell at $13.20, and I had to pay shipping of $24.40. So we're looking at my cost was 3,700 yen. And it's very, very, very nicely done. We're looking at it behind glass. Later on, I will try and open it up because there's no way we're going to store it in the frame. Now, Sadako's asking this question, Hirakawa, I really don't know. Toshio might be the guy's name. I don't really know. I'm sorry. The frame itself is hugely expensive. A frame like this would cost, my God, perhaps 6 figures. I don't know. And we're looking at something that was originally a painting. Again, this has been translated into the woodblock form. So all the different bits of sea that you see, they're all carved separately. It would originally have been painted. I guess that's his signature. It's completely unreadable. Oh, that's our light, sorry. Let's zoom out a bit. Oops, 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 oops. I'm struggling with this thing, it's too big here. And look at the glow, it's so difficult to do this in woodblock. They've made the wave hitting this. I've been here, I've done this. I made a print like this myself years ago, and I struggled with how to do this, with making a wave hit a rock and making it splash out. I tried this myself. I have no idea how many blocks are involved here. Perhaps once we get it open, there might be some documentation inside. I don't know. And again, it's a reflection of the bubble time. These things would have been made back in the bubble time in Japan when there was so much money available. Money was just lying on the ground. You could make any project you wanted and it would fly. And I'm a beneficiary of this. Oh, look who's here. Wow, wow, wow. Wasn't she, right? I'm a beneficiary of that because when I started my 100 Poets series, this was 1989, this was the tail end of the bubble, and there were enough people. They looked at me, a print a month for 10,000 yen, sure, sign me up. So I was able to get enough subscribers those years to carry me forward, and the wheels fell off that bus because the bubble era did finish. But during that time, some spectacular, spectacular projects did get done. No, this was for the Japanese market. They weren't interested in selling to foreigners whatsoever. What the publishers, there was Momose, who were the publishers? Takamizawa did some, Momose did some, Tanseisha in Kyoto did a whole bunch of them. There were a bunch of publishers doing this. And what they would do, they'd find some carvers and printers, make a license with the painter to get the thing done, get some wood, and they would advertise it in Sunday newspapers. And all the major newspapers, Yomiuri, Mainichi, Asahi, whatever, on Sunday there would be a Sunday supplement with art pages. And there'd be information on gallery shows, on this and that and whatever. And at the bottom of one of those pages would be an advertisement announcing new coming up. What's the guy's name? Hirakawa Sensei, a new picture from Hirakawa Sensei. And the price would have been 300,000 yen, 400,000, 500,000 with frame. You'd send in your postcard with your order, and you'd pay maybe 4 times or 6 times. They'd send you a little bill. You'd pay at the post office over a period of 6 months or so. It was a huge, huge, huge market. It cost 24. My cost on this, because this is now secondary market, my cost, here's the auction page. $13.20 for the print and shipping of $24.40. Nobody wants them anymore. The people that bought this in 1986 from that newspaper ad, they hung it on their wall, and that's it. And when you think about it, if that person was 50 years old or something in 1986, they're gone. They're no longer here. And the kids have inherited the house, the kids have inherited the stuff, and young people are not really interested in this kind of stuff. So here we have a wonderful opportunity. And again, what I'll try and do, we're finishing the stream now, I'll get back to my work. I will see if we can get it out of this frame, because we do not want to keep it in the frame at all. I'll get it out of the frame and try and show you the print itself. We can look at the front and look at the back, and maybe we'll learn, there might be an embossing on it that shows who made it. There's also, I see now, there's a bit of foxing. It's not in perfect condition. If we look down here, there's some foxing. That brown. There's no way that brown is part of the color of the print. That brown will be a little bit of foxing, I think. There's a bit more here. Very, very light. But overall, no problem. Magnificent, magnificent thing. I have really mixed feelings, you know. The prints are made so beautifully and with so much skill, and I could not do this. We can't make this kind of stuff anymore. And yet, as you can see, it has no quote-unquote value, not in its current society. But it has value to people somewhere else, you know. So we take it out of the frame for a few reasons. One, nobody can carry this frame back in their baggage back home. This is acrylic, it could go safely, but also it's probably framed badly. We open these things and they're done with sellotape and stuff, and just, we cannot leave them in these frames. They look pretty, but it's deadly to the print. This one, you're asking, it's not going in the shop. This is going upstairs for me. But we have lots of similar stuff like this in the shop. Okay, I think we're done. I have got to get to work. I've got to get those 200 prints finished because they must be shipped to Ome later this afternoon. Thanks very much for hanging around. I'll be back on Thursday. As usual, I'm not sure what I'll be doing. And I meant today to chat with you about this, but I didn't get around to it. I got some decisions to make in the next couple of days. Long story short, for those who don't understand, the ninja have disappeared. They're gone. They left the 31st evening. Their building is empty, and I have an appointment with a real estate agent at 10 o'clock in the morning across the street to talk about it. Let's get out of here. See you on Thursday. Thanks for watching, and bye for now. 3, 2, 1, away we go.